Hello and welcome to this tutorial on ABRSM, Grade 7, hot off the press, 2023-2024, the new syllabus. This is the Tempo di Minuetto from Marianne von Martínez. It's the List A third piece. I think it's a charming piece, although I didn't love it straight away. I think it's not the easiest piece to love, but it is lovable, and it is possible to breathe quite a lot of life into it. ABRSM do some weird things here, like I totally do not agree with the recommended way that they suggest to do the ornaments. So, for example, in this first bar, they suggest, and by the way, I might keep playing it wrong because I learnt this as with a D sharp, but it isn't a D sharp, it's a D natural. Now, I did actually make a recording of this, a performance that I put on YouTube. There will be a link above and a link below in the description. And I did correct it. Again here, I really wanted a D sharp, but I corrected it. But if I, in this particular tutorial, keep forgetting, please forgive me for that. Anyway, their suggested rhythm is, well, if we go 1E and a 2E and a 3 and they're saying basically that tends to happen very, very quickly. My recommendation is to do it as semiquavers, that everything is semiquavers in that first bar. So it's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1. And if I speed that, and also I like a staccato on the first note. So it's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a, with a staccato on that first note. If I speed that up, it goes... which I think is really charming and really nice, and much nicer than their weird idea to go 1E and a 2E and a 3 and, or something like that. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. If I try and play it quickly, 1. With this weird fingering in bar 3, I'm like, what on earth were they thinking in bar 3? To go 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, switch to the thumb, and then go to 3 and 5. That's insane. So my recommended fingering in bar 3 is 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So that you're just on the thumb. So you go 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, and you're ready. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, and you're ready straight away. So their fingering is insane. Who on earth came up with that? It's just massively unhelpful. So whoops. Now, I recommend that right from the beginning, you do not just look at this as, oh God, it's the List A Baroque piece, okay. And just go like, let me just get all the correct notes. You want to, everything I say to my students all the time, and actually my podcast is a good place to go for this. I've got a podcast on Heart of the Piano. You can go to heartofthepiano.com. There's a link at the top to the podcast, or you can just go to Heart of the Piano podcast on Spotify or Apple. And recently I did an episode on the most important psychological thing to do for any pianist. And basically what it boiled down to is look for what there is to love. And in terms of looking for what there is to love, you look for the character, you look for what it's saying. Like if you are getting to know a person, if you've just met a person and you're looking for what there is to love, you don't intellectually and analytically look for things to love. You go, who is this person? What kind of person are they? What kind of energy do they have? So I do a similar thing with this piece. I'm like, if it's a person, who is this person? And to me, this is like a person. So, what kind of a person is this? What mood are they in? Are they young or old? Are they male or female? what kind of mood are they in? What kind of character do they have? What are they doing? How do they move? You know, all these kinds of things. Now, to me, this is quite playfully childish, and I mean childish in the nicest possible way of a lovable child playing. And there's sort of like a, ooh, squirrel over there, ooh, dog over there, ooh, that over here, ooh, something over there, and then something over here, and now, ooh, that's interesting, ooh, that's nice. And it's exceedingly in a good mood. This is very happy music. This is really sunny, very just optimistic, bubbly. I think very naive and innocent and childlike. So we want to have fun. In the same kind of way that a small child might be running around the room having fun playing with their toys. Now, I know this might seem like a really tall order for, what is this, grade 7, for a grade 7 Baroque piece to genuinely feel, I can really have fun with this. But if you approach it, that your mission, your work, if you want to call it that, you know, the work isn't to go, oh my God, I have to play well and play well and get a good mark. Your goal is to be naive, innocent, and playful. And then when that is your goal, you're more likely to find out how to get the right kind of technique. So I think that a lot of people, especially for grade 7, that most people are just going to go now, something I've been working on in recent years and months, and you might have seen this from previous videos that I've done, is to work on a leggero kind of finger work, which is instead of, which is quite legato, to go where everything is sort of quite light and staccato. Not, it's got to be very light and bubbly and frothy, which means very, very quiet. Now that is difficult. It's not easy to do. And the way that I do it is I pull with my fingers on each note, which is the opposite of what I usually do, which is to play from the knuckle joint without moving any of the other joints, which is usually the way that I think most people should play most of the time. Every now and then, we want to pull with these distal joints, the joints nearest the fingertip. But don't get too used to that. This should be like a special technique for Baroque and some classical. As opposed to which is way less interesting. So anyway, I'm not going to say too much more about that. I use dabs of pedal, places like this. And now, there are many, many bars here which are immediately repeated. So we've got, don't just play it the same way both times. Every single time that you've got a bar followed by a bar that is identical or even similar, try and do something really, really different with it. Don't just repeat it. So in bar 6, I'll go from bar 5. This is like, ah, bless, right? Ah, bless. And then so it suddenly goes a bit more fun. So I'm going to go from bar 5. Ah, how cute. And then same thing here. I go heavy, lighter. Now I've put something else that I should say, this is Baroque. Baroque music, you were expected to put your own ornaments in. You were expected to sometimes improvise and embellish and sort of pretty much do almost whatever you wanted within the bounds of good taste, whatever good taste was in those days. You know, it's difficult for us to know. Now, I just think that in bar 12, I just like a little turn in that place. and so on and so on. So feel free, feel brave to put your own ornaments wherever you want. Like, let me go from the beginning and see if there's anywhere else where I might sort of just fancy putting something. Like somewhere like that, you know, you could. I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure that that's really good taste to put it there, but that kind of thing, you can. Yeah, you know, that kind of thing, you can. But maybe for an ABRSM grade 7 exam, you don't want to push it too much. But if there's a nice little twiddly ornament that you want to put in, your examiner will probably be really impressed. But check it with your teacher about, you know, to see whether it's in the style of something that might have been done in Baroque times. You don't want to be too out there. So anyway, as I play and as you watch my performance, link in the description below and above at the beginning and end of the video, bear in mind I put in some of my own ornaments. Over the page, I like to play that first note in each of these groups of 3. I like these quite staccato. Because this is a child. This is like a child playing around and jumping and skipping and I make this one, I've marked in P. I didn't play it P, but like, and then a bit more boisterous. Now here, I think that in bar 18, and by the way, I do recommend having a copy open in front of you so that when I call out bar numbers, you can look at the right bar number if you're learning this piece. So bar 18, I think this chord in the right hand needs to have a slur to the next note. And I just spoke about this in one of my previous videos. Basically, as hopefully your piano teachers have told you, anytime that you have 2 notes joined by a slur, it means lean and relax. It means loud and then softer, tension and release. So, because this is like, and it resolves. Dominant, tonic, and then resolves. And we don't want to play bars 20 to 21 exactly the same way that we played bars 18 to 19. So I recommend playing the second time it's repeated just a little bit quieter. So we've got something like that, except a little bit quicker. So da 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 da. And then these rhythms here in bar 23, I recommend really, really, really exaggerating them. So we've got from bar 22. So you squeeze in those, what are they, demi-semiquavers, semi-demi-semiquaver, whatever they are. Or in American speak, what would they be? 30-second notes, or I don't know what it is in that system. But basically, those really fast notes, really squeeze them in. I like a little trill in that first beat of bar 27. Nice pedal. Ah, bless. Boisterous. Like a little trill there. Now, I find it weird that the second time bar does not have an E in the left hand, so I've just put an E in the left hand. The only copy that there is on IMSLP, it's heavily edited, but in that heavily edited version, they agreed with me and put the E in there. So, and then same thing in the second time bar with the rhythm. Yeah, I just don't understand why you'd go. So And then here, not quite so childish and playful. This is suddenly very dramatic. Something dramatic has happened. I'm not sure what it is. But we're in the world of grown-ups now, and drama and tragedy or sadness of some kind. Yeah, something is definitely going on here. There's definitely some drama, grown-up drama. So notice in these kinds of delicate places, I think that the first time before a bar is repeated, I just put the pedal in and go, ah, and I empathize. And then, so here, ah, and then the second time, it's a bit more pushing it forwards. And then we're back to the mood of the beginning. It's so childish and innocent. Answer. It's so ludicrously and almost amusingly simple, and just how simple the question and the answer is. Very, very innocent and naive. So anyway, back to bar 48. Where am I? Right. Jump skip, jump skip, jump skip. Boisterous. Slur, release, slur, release. Coming down a bit the second time. And it's an easy piece in a way, because these last two pages, most of it is kind of just the same as the first two pages. These short notes really squeezed into the next beat. Boisterous. Bless. Boisterous. Maybe pull back a little here, make it sweeter. This last note is so unsatisfying. I want an octave. If it was really up to me, I'd add an extra octave in the left hand. I'm not sure whether you should be brave enough to do this in an ABRSM exam, but in my opinion, this should certainly be spread, arpeggiated in the right hand. So if I go from bar 71, I think that really works, and I recommend finish with a nice theatrical flourish so that you get a clap, you get a round of applause. And in the newish ABRSM performance exams where you record and put it online, they give you marks for showmanship. So if you go like that, you'll get good marks for it. You know, it's such a neat, ludicrously easy way of getting marks, just to do this kind of theatrical showmanship and stagecraft. I think I've probably covered all the sort of important, quick things I would want to give to a new student. You know, obviously there's more things I could talk about, but I think those are the important things. But, you know, don't just treat this as, oh, it's just an annoying Baroque piece. You know, it's so much fun. Whoops. Have fun with it. Really have fun with it. Love it. It is lovable. You know, I had to work to love it. When I first looked at this, I was like, meh. So, you know, just resist that temptation. And you will. I do think that the skill of loving a piece like this, it's not just something you love it or you don't love it. It is a skill and you can practice it. Every time you sit down, you can practice going, what is this piece about? How can I love it? What is there for me to love in it? So anyway, do have a look at the podcast, because I've also put a review of all of the new ABRSM syllabus, which is how I've got these books early, and all the usual blah 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 with YouTube. So if you thought this video was useful and you liked it, please do like it, show your appreciation, leave comments, subscribe. I am available for online lessons. I've got room for students at the moment if you like my teaching style. So I will leave you now to go and do some practice. And thank you very much for listening and watching this tutorial all the way to the end. And goodbye. Thanks for watching.